It's the 8:05 post show here at the Billabong Pro Pipeline, live from the 808 area code, and it is a beautiful afternoon. We had a full day of surf action. We saw some really grindy performances. We saw some upsets. We saw some heartbreak. We're down to the quarterfinals. I'm Kaipo along with Dimity Stoyle and Ross Williams. I'm going to start with you, Ross. Your thoughts on today?
I mean, we saw a declining swell, and we had a lot of adjusting as the day went and got older and older. We saw the swell decline a little bit. So people went from step-ups to short boards. We went from barrels to big tail blows. So it was an exciting day.
Dimity, you said it today. I think you quoted, manage your expectations. And that was something that the surfers that won had to do out here and adjust to the conditions.
Yeah, definitely. We saw the more experienced girls just, take that expectation out of their mind, change their equipment. They started getting barreled in the morning. Obviously, they ended up doing snaps left, right, and center. So, changing the equipment mid-event is always hard, and the ones who adapted ended up winning their heats.
That's right. Well, let's take a look at the morning. It was the women's opening round with Carissa Moore, Betty Lou Sakura-Johnson, and Alyssa Spencer, Ross.
Yeah, and see, Sakura here is riding a 6-0 board. And there was some proper waves this morning. Look at that. Nice barrel there for Sakura. Good double arm drag there to stall. And glassy conditions. Pretty nice this morning, you guys.
That was my favorite wave of the morning, personally.
Carissa Moore, though, not to be denied, coming through here. And it was a really close heat, Dimity, between Carissa Moore and Betty Lou Sakura-Johnson.
Yeah, I was so excited to watch this heat on paper with just the rivalry with Betty Lou and Carissa, and just Carissa's just so dominant and smart, but Betty Lou definitely got the best wave, in my opinion, of that heat. And
Carissa Moore and Betty Lou advancing straight into the round of 16. Alyssa Spencer getting third in that heat into the elimination round, 5-time world champ. Doing what we expect from Carissa Moore, and there's the numbers, Ross.
Yeah, it was a really close one. Like Dimity said, it was, Sakura did have the best wave of the heat. She just didn't have a great backup score. It was really tricky out there. You saw Alyssa Spencer was sticking to those little lefts. We saw Moana stick to the lefts today. And that was really tough for the goofy footers. They wanted pipe to happen, but it was pretty small today.
Yeah, I mean, but there were some surprising scores, Dimity, that surfers were able to pull together on the lefts. But, we had Ross as a coach here. We had Jamie O'Brien, who lives right here at Pipeline, saying, hey, it's an all-right day. That's where the scores are, but still surfers taking some lefts. Yeah,
especially towards the end of the day, we saw Molly just come out with bangs on her backhand and showing that. But the rights just had so much more power, and it wasn't until more so the end of the day where they got the scores.
And Ross, I guess it's the fact that it is the ocean, it's unpredictable, and you can make a general game plan, but once you're out there, you have to be reactive to everything that Pipeline is going to throw at you.
Absolutely. And pipe and backdoor, it's a crazy shallow reef, and it really likes to be, you want to go out there and get barreled. And so all of a sudden, when you have to switch gears and look for big sections to do turns, it gets super tricky. And that was the task at hand this afternoon. The competitors did it, but it wasn't easy. It was a little grindy.
Yeah, well, grinding through into the quarterfinals, Betty Lou Sakura-Johnson. Let's hear from her.
Betty Lou, your very first heat win of the 2023 Championship Tour. Watching the conditions unfold today, how did you want to attack your heat?
Definitely just watching the ocean and letting it do its thing. Kind of just wanted to sit more closer by off the wall and get those little right runners, but was able to get one turn on my last heat, and that's a keeper score, especially when the conditions got smaller and a little windier.
What were you thinking, knowing you and Caroline were so close, and you see her take off on that last wave after she forced you to use your priority? What was going through your head?
Oh, in those situations, I think you kind of just have to go, because Caroline's an amazing surfer. You can't really predict what she's going to do because she's so good, and she can do those crazy backhand snaps. So kind of just got to go and use priority, but then there's still enough time for her to get another wave, and what she did get another wave, but thankfully it worked out my way.
You grinded through the Challenger Series last year, made your way back here to the Championship Tour. What do you feel like you learned about yourself grinding through the Challenger Series?
I learned a lot about myself and how bad I really wanted to get back on the tour and how hungry I was for it, and just knowing all those grateful moments, those bad and good times, they come along, and to be here. I'm hungry for it, and I want to do better than last year.
We're excited to see you back. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thanks, AJ.
Betty Lou Sakura Johnson into the quarterfinals. A great grindy performance there, Ross. And, you know, that's a nice start to the year. But today, Dimity, a shocker, an upset today. Stephanie Gilmore going down to two San Diego surfers, Caitlin Simmers and Alyssa Spencer. That was the elimination round, heat number 1. And let's take a look here, Ross, at Caitlin Simmers' first CT heat win.
You can see this was in the middle of the day, and there were still some barrels on offer. I was so impressed with her style and how she read the wave. These waves were a little almondy. Some of these barrels were shutting down, but Caitlin read it perfect.
Yeah, she did, and she definitely got the best waves, which was to watch the goat go down in a heat like that and just be out of rhythm and then turn around and look at Katie on waves like this.
I mean, that wasn't easy.
No.
She delayed that bottom turn on purpose with style. Got a double barrel to boot. I'm impressed. I mean, she's only 17 years old. She's a grommet, but she surfs like she's a veteran.
Her style is sick, and she really loves, you know, trying to look stylish, and she's in tune.
Yeah, you can't deny the natural talent of Katie Simmers. And as she progresses and surfs more heats on the championship tour level, I think that's when, Ross, her heat IQ is going to increase because the raw talent's already there.
Yeah, and she just needs reps. And I saw her. She had no time to think about it, which I think also helped her get right back out there in the elimination round. I saw she even had, you know, she was shedding a few tears, and she was bummed when she lost that first round. And then she didn't have time to think about it, and that was really to her advantage. Right back out there, and she smoked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the women's round of 16, heat number 6, Molly Picklum was so impressive, Dimity. Let's take a look at Molly's performance in that heat.
Yeah, she was a standout all day, and this turn here is just going upside down, not mucking around. You know, she's out there. Nose conditions have changed, just straight into energized backhand whips.
Yeah, for me, she was the smartest all afternoon. She had so much energy, and she's got a lot of fight in her. She surfs great, good technique, and she, you know, she can provide carves like that. But on top of it, Kaipo, she's a grom. She had what, like 15 waves in that heat.
Yeah, she got so busy. You know, even in the first half of that priority heat, when she was in the first 20 minutes, the non-priority section, she was all over the lineup. Dimity.
And when you surf that good, like when you're so talented, that's what best plan is.
Let's take a look at our quarterfinals. Ross, I'm going to start with you. Quarterfinal number 1, Brisa Hennessy, Lakey Peterson. Who's your pick?
I would say Brisa's got a little bit of an advantage over Lakey. She's got a lead foot on her. She's you know, a real power surfer. So, but Lakey's been smart. She's really done her homework the last couple years here at Pipe.
Tatiana Weston Webb, Tyler Wright. I'm going to you, Dimity. Who's going to take that one?
Both of them were looking really sharp, but I was impressed with Tyler. I think she's got an amazing board under her feet. She's looking loose and fit and healthy, and yeah, let's see how she goes.
Ross, with the form of Pickles, Molly Picklum, I think she's going to be a big challenge for Carissa Moore in that quarterfinal number 3.
I'm going to back you up. I think she'll get the upset there. That'll be my guess. Of course, Carissa's a monster out here. She's so solid. We also have to wait and see what we're going to get as far as the waves in a couple days. There is a swell coming. If it's like 5 to 6 foot backdoor, I'll change my mind. I'll go right to Carissa. But if it's grindy like this, Molly's going to be tough.
Yeah, I like your picks there. Well, you know, We Are One Ocean is a global initiative to inspire surfers to protect and conserve our ocean and preserve the future of our sport. We teamed up this year with the North Shore Community Land Trust and did some good work at the Lo'i there, planting taro and cleaning up the whole area. Let's take a look at that activation.
Tons of people come to surf the North Shore every winter, and I think we have a kuleana, a responsibility as ocean people to work as one people to make sure that our aina and land stays healthy and clean.
There's so many great things you can do out there to help people and everyone in the community, so yeah, just go find people to help out.
We Are One Ocean is a global initiative to inspire the surf community to protect and conserve our one ocean to preserve the future of our sport. We are joining forces with North Shore Community Land Trust to help restore traditional crops in a coastal wetland in Waiale'e. on the North Shore of Oahu.
We're really grateful to WSL for providing a donation to North Shore Community Land Trust, and the impact of those funds will be continuing to restore lo'i kalo like the one we see right here, traditional Hawaiian taro patches, and ultimately we hope that to grow food to feed our local community here on the North Shore.
Kalo is a very important plant for our people, that which feeds us.
It's our food source. You can eat it from the flower to the stem to the root. That's life. Pretty much like identifies Hawaiian culture. So it's awesome to see them putting the time in and building a big lo'i patch back here.
Lo'i kalo are also important because they help to filter sediment through our waterways from the uplands and actually utilize the nutrients in that sediment to grow that food and prevent those nutrients and sediments from washing into our nearshore reefs, which can ultimately be detrimental to our marine life. We have several different varieties of kalo. These are all labeled. They all have different characteristics, and when they grow out, they have different leaves, they have different tastes. But we're kind of planting several different varieties to just see what will stick. This is a stem cutting. This is called the huli. The huli is like this generational kind of link from one to the next. So we're actually utilizing plant matter that has gone back hundreds, if not thousands of years, all the way back to the first kalo plants.
Replanting a plant that can be harvested and reused. You have this realization that somebody has done this before you, not just once, not just twice, but has done it hundreds and hundreds of years before you. Then there's going to be somebody doing it again. And that is what We Are One Ocean is really, really about. It's about the connectedness of who we are.
If we stick together and everyone does our part, we'll live in a much better and more sustainable planet.
Getting involved in protecting and conserving the ocean is critical for us today and for future generations. Tell us what you're doing by posting on social media with the hashtag WeAreOneOcean and tagging WSL and WSL Pure in your posts.
We are one ocean! Yeah, doing some great work over there. It was a wonderful day. And again, thank you to the North Shore Community Land Trust for all the work that they do here on the North Shore of Oahu to preserve those open areas and to be guardians of all bodies of water, not just the ocean, but all the rivers that lead into the water. That was a great day. That was in the past. Let's look towards the future right now, Ross. And for that, I'm going to ring Surfline. Let's take a look at our Surfline forecast for the Billabong Pro pipeline.
Well, I've been staring at this every single day here, I feel like, for weeks and weeks on end. But, it looks like this weekend it might be a little quiet. You can see right there it gets a little dead. But then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way through Friday, Dimity, there is more swell energy in the water. We've got some trade winds coming back, which is good for pipeline. So maybe a quiet next couple days and then some more action.
Yeah, I was talking to the Hawaiian girls, Moana and Betty Lou, and Moana was like, oh, I think there's some swell coming next week, and getting all excited, so.
Yeah, right there you can see Monday right there, Dimity. There's the yellow highlight showing just a little bump. And also, Kaipa, one thing to note for that swell coming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, good direction, like 315. That means it's that nice westerly direction. It's great for pipeline and backdoor.
Oh, I can't wait for it. And again, thank you to Surfline for giving us all the intel. It's, all these predictions and forecasts. We got the best team of forecasters out there spending a lot of time and giving us some guidance to call days, run days, and potential run days. Right now, though, my favorite time, Dimity, guess what? Time for our top 5 moments of the day here at the Billabong Pro Pipeline. Let's start it off with Gabriella Bryant and her performance here.
Oh, yeah. Look at these barrels just sliding straight into that one. Beautiful angle there, and then belts it. She was just throwing hammers. Look at that, once again. I was so impressed with her, the maneuvers she was doing after the barrels today.
The lead foot, she's so strong, such a good competitor too, very smart. She had a smart heat this afternoon too.
Sure did. Number 4. Ross, you gotta be a proud uncle. Betty Lou Sakura Johnson coming through with some great waves. This was a 6.5.
She's gonna sleep good tonight. She had a couple of heats, and that's just that nervous energy. You know how it is, Dimity, where you're just trying to avoid getting a loss. And it was a real kind of a fighting day here. And the morning was great, and Betty Lou showed up for a couple barrels and then had a scrappy heat this afternoon, Kaipo.
Number 3, Caitlin Simmers, Dimity, and her performance at backdoor.
Yeah, look at her style. It's just so cool, and she's one of my favorite surfers to watch. The turns she was doing, the barrels the way she was reading the barrels as well. So sick.
Yeah, again, her read is perfect, man. It's like she's been surfing out here for years, and she's just a little grommy.
Yeah. And number 2, Lakey Peterson knocks out the defending champ, Moana Jones-Wong. Surprising heat, Ross.
Yeah, and Moana really stuck to her guns going left. And she got some good scores this morning, Jiminy. She had like a 5 and a 4, and she was looking pretty good, but the waves dropped quite a bit.
I know, and unfortunately for Moana, the lefts were just, look at what was happening on the right. So just so much power and opportunity for the girls like Lakey on this just to tee off.
Yeah.
And it's just hard to compete when it's like that.
Yeah, Moana's sticking to the lefts, but the rights paid off for Lakey Peterson. Number 1, Molly Picklum, Dimity, 7-point ride here.
Yeah, she's in my fantasy team, and I knew she'd do damage here because she's just been spending so much time. And look how late she hit that. It was almost a mistake, but it made the wave more exciting.
Yeah, she kind of stole the day because she had that great barrel, and then this afternoon she had a really good active heat here. She caught a bunch of waves.
Wow.
She had, I think, a 7-point ride, and then Kaipo, she kept going and pulling into closeouts. She was just so grommed out.
Yeah.
A lot of froth from Molly. It was really fun to watch.
Yeah, she had that 8-point ride, actually. And Molly Picklum, to your point, the most impressive surfer today. Well, thank you, Ross, and thank you, Dimity. Thank you all for watching. Remember, we are off for tomorrow, so our next possible run day will be Saturday. Check in at worldsurfleague.com for all of the updates and enjoy today's highlights.
The horn just sounded, which means we are officially on. Sorry.
Looks like a good one. Betty Lou, Shreddy Lou in the barrel at backdoor and reemerges.
Love that entry for wrist, right into the barrel, maxing out the tube time. All eyes will be on Moana Jones-Wong to see if she can defend her title and go back-to-back.
Fitzgibbons, backdoor, gets there. Going to go into the lead in this heat with that performance. Here we go with Simmers. Under the hook, no problem. Big hack to the finish.
Caitlin, she's just having fun out there.
Yeah, make or break, she is on fire.
First equal 17th of the event handed out to Stephanie Gilmore.
0-0.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.